Thank you for joining XROM, which is India's first AR VR focused podcast. And today I'm delighted to have with me Mr. Navin Manaswi. And this is the second time we are having him on the podcast. He is an AI and XR developer and the CEO and founder of WoWExp. He's also an author who has written various books. So, the ones who have not seen his earlier episode, that's episode number 113, and the episode was titled Metaverse Rising in India. So Navin, welcome to the show. For those who have kind of missed the earlier episode, why don't we start with a brief intro and also explain what the metaverse is.
Thank you very much, Eddie, for having me on your forum. So I'm Navin Manaswi. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a published author. Wrote books on deep learning AI. Guest faculty at IIT Kharagpur for AI courses. And for last 3 years, building the metaverse, India's first metaverse products like WoWmeet and WoWcity, and trying to create an ecosystem in India with help of brilliant minds like Eddie.
Thank you, Manaswi. Yes, like I said, I mean, the ones who have kind of would want to know a little bit in detail about the background, I think, you guys can go to the episode number 113, which Navin's, gives the entire breakdown on what he's been doing. So, what has changed from the when we spoke last year? Because I believe we spoke last year. What has changed in the ecosystem, and what is the new that we should know about you and WoWExp?
First of all, I think I missed the last point, metaverse. So I can just briefly tell about metaverse.
Yeah.
Metaverse is a 3D virtual persistent world where we can collaborate, work together, enjoy our things, have a e-commerce experience, have interactions, have all kind of experiences which we do in normal life. Sort of is a parallel to our universe, is a parallel to our world where we can live more happily in more creative manners. We can collaborate, we can play, we can enjoy together. Okay, and now in last 8 months, 9 months, how metaverse evolved, how WoWXP evolved. So I would like to answer this. So I think in last 8 9 months after Mark Zuckerberg announcement, things have changed a lot. At least people have changed the perception about metaverse. They take it much more seriously. Earlier, metaverse is taken as a gamer zone where you can only play the games. But now people talk about metaverse in the manufacturing, metaverse in the e-commerce, metaverse in the social media, metaverse into the ad marketing. So now metaverse is taken as the next version of internet. So the way in 1996 people have seen the era of internet, people have seen the telecom era of internet and all. In the same manner, after around 28 years, we can see a new internet, that is metaverse. People want to join this world. They want to be in a 3D space. Now, a company like a Tommy Hilfiger, like a any kind of fashion companies, any kind of brand companies, they all want to be in a metaverse space now. Just is similar to the era when people wanted to start the website, in 96, 2000 era. People want to start the website because that can create more, you can say, uh, tractions. You can be seen by many people. In the same manner, now company wants to be in a metaverse so that people know about their world, their companies, their experiences in immersive manner, in more you can say human manner. You can say uh, so, and how has evolved over last 8 months. WoWXP has created the metaverse product. It has created India's first metaverse meeting platform called WoWmeet, where people can collaborate and work together. It's all about work from home culture. So if you can work from home, but once you download our app and be in a devices, you feel that you go to the office with your colleagues. So your colleagues and you can work together in the same virtual 3D environment, and there can be complete environment where you can have a whiteboard, where you can have a slideshow. So it's a complete remote culture, can say rebranding in terms of the metaverse. Uh, okay, a second thing which we have evolved is like we build our own city, Wow City, where we have a showrooms of fashion, showrooms of electronics, showrooms of various types, plus event hubs. So we are trying to create an ecosystem where company can come from all backgrounds, and company can come and start showrooms and all the experience centers and the events and everything else. So and also WoWExp has partnered with PwC India. Now we are joint business partner of with PwC India. So we are just trying to penetrate faster. We want to really democratize metaverse on the ground with enterprises. So this is the journey of WoWExp, and also we discuss about journey of metaverse as such.
First of all, Navin, congratulations on the partnership with PwC, because I think that will open up so many new things. And from the last time that we met, you guys were when we had a conversation. You have really pushed this ecosystem, and you said you built Wow Meet, you built a Wow City, which has got showrooms and event hubs and so on and so forth. And you rightfully pointed out. I guess the internet, the current Web 2.0 that we've been on, is transitioning. It's transitioning from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. We're getting into the digital world, and the digital world, I think, is going to open up so many opportunities. And it was plain to see what happened with COVID. Everybody was forced to work at home, and when they're forced to work at home, they finally understood that, wow, there's so many benefits. Your environment is cleaner because you're not traveling and you're not emitting carbon. B, you've got the pleasure to and freedom to sit from anywhere, work, beach, mountain, work. It's C, you can spend more time at home with your family. So there are a lot of pros loaded on this future of internet or the metaverse that we're talking about. And you also explained that there are so many different sectors which can leverage the opportunity at this point of time, right from e-com to your retail to work to entertainment to gaming to training to manufacturing. Now, give an example. Today, if there is a specific business sector, okay, be it like a manufacturing, be it a retail business, e-com, how does one, if it's a small medium business, how do they go about building or participating in the metaverse journey? What if a small medium size e-commerce retail company wants to build a metaverse site, wants to host it, wants to start making transaction? What's the work pipeline of developing, hosting, and what would be the cost of a platform like this?
Awesome, very nice, very relevant question. Yeah, I think the way we people have changed from the non-online to online, in the same manner now the even the medium company want to start the metaverse stuff. So the how they can do, there are many platforms where they can create a showroom, first of all. And it can be the web metaverse, like browser-based metaverse. It can be also the VR-based metaverse. So they can open the premise or office in either web-based or VR-based metaverse. So in web-based, already Decentraland and other company are active. They can open up some office, some kind of showroom in the all those company as well. In the VR-based metaverse, also WoWExp can contribute. They can give them a space in that city, and we already have a showrooms example. They can just go and sign up for one thing. We can give one showroom to them, and they can make it live also. So there are two modes, and companies are already there in the market. They have to hit the company. They have to hit either Decentraland Sandbox for the web-based metaverse or Roblox, or they can hit also WoWExp or maybe Meta also for the VR based space.
Right. So I was recently reading this report by Citibank, the Citi Group. They had created this report which says that metaverse is going to be an 8 trillion to a 13 trillion market opportunity. How does this relate to India? How do you think is how big is the India market opportunity, and what would be your advice to those you know uh, SMEs who would want to explore this opportunity and get into it? How do they start? Where do they start from?
So, see, India can be the power center of this metaverse. India, Israel, Germany, US, they all Dubai. They want to be the hub of the metaverse. So maybe even India can target 20% of the metaverse economy, or 10% of that. It's a big number, right? When you say take $10 trillion business, out of that 10% is like a $1 trillion business. So even India can create 1 trillion economy in metaverse. uh, and so I can India has a big chance if company like the many company in India which are trying to promote metaverse, if they get power, if they get power for many sources, they can really bring 1 trillion economy somehow. Now for SME, I can tell you there are many things here in metaverse. One is the 5G. Okay, so 5G is going to play a big role in metaverse. So once 5G comes, there can be a live concert, live events, live meeting with your friends, colleagues. So 5G will open up a new windows in collaboration area, event area. So the SME can target how 5G can be leveraged in many metaverse applications. They can be like a expert, like 5G counseling expert. They can be expert of event expert, like 5G based event expert, or even they can be part of the typical 3D world. They can really be consultant for the 3D creations game, like how to create the optimum 3D content or 3D spaces for the companies or brands or the showrooms as well. So there are many things SME can decide the comfort zone and just put effort in the directions. So be it the VR like Oculus based services consultant, or maybe the VR app consultant, maybe the AR app consultant, like how AR should be there for the many company as well, or maybe 5G consultant, or maybe the event consultant, or maybe the metaverse consultant in such. So there are many opportunity. They have to really put effort in one or two directions and take that role. There is no formal degree or course anywhere. I don't see any degree right now. It's all about they have to be part of any metaverse company in market, spend some time, some months, and once they are comfortable with particular part of technology, they can be consultant, they can be SME.
Right, so there are lots of opportunity, and because it's such a new and nascent industry, you need to just kind of update yourself and learn your I mean from the various content which is available on YouTube or and on the World Wide Web. I'm gonna ask you this question. This is a repeat question because I had asked you this question last year also when we spoke. Where does India's metaverse industry stand? Because last time when we spoke, you were not so very positive about it. But today, if you see, there is some nice movement. At least nations like Dubai, there is Korea, there's Singapore. They have already have their metaverse strategy going on, and also the Web 3.0 strategy. So, where does India stand when it comes to the metaverse strategy?
From government perspective, I think maybe we are not that fast as Dubai. But yeah, eventually government will put more efforts, I think so. Currently, the companies are growing a lot. I think, and the team, the VR developer and 3D artists, now they are making a lot of communities on WhatsApp or many other platforms. They are discussing, they are creating new opportunities. I think in that informal way, I can see a lot of activities nowadays. Still, I think we have big chance of creating the bigger ecosystem in India. From government point of view, they are, I think, studying, they are reading the mind, they are trying to understand the importance, they're trying to really implement something new. But at least from the ground, at the ground, I can see there is so much traction right now. There's so many meetings happening. Yeah, yes, Dubai, in Dubai scenario, the government itself is aggressive. They are organizing the events, they are bringing company, they're committing some number of employment, some number of fund and all. They are putting their own soul and skill in the game. Indian government is yet to put the skin in the game. Yes, they are saying ki we can do something about that. But yeah, optimistic in a way that ki our crowd, our young crowd is very aggressive. They are becoming a bigger and bigger workforce, I can say. They are targeting the biggest market in the world. They are trying to challenge big company, maybe in also in hardware also as well as the software as well. Government side, I think hopefully there can be a more commitment. There can be more commitment of investment or maybe some kind of support.
Right. And what's the challenges for an metaverse startup? What's the challenges you as a startup yeah, that you've been facing over here? How's the developer ecosystem growing? You know, for you to onboard, recruit developers, you know, metaverse, Web3 developer, how easy or difficult is that over here in India?
This metaverse needs an imaginations and believe in the imaginations. Ki this will happen in coming 3 to 5 years and all, and then put all the efforts and soul in the game. That part I think is missing mostly in large investors. They still want to see the metaverse gains, metaverse revenue and everything in US market or some market, and they think if US market says ki in last 12 months this is a graph in US, so in India also we can have a similar graph in terms of the ratio and all. So that is the way they have trained their mind, you know. So they want to have a one proof in other market like US market to just support company in India. The way Ola is promoted on the logic of Uber, or many companies are promoted on the logic of the similar company in US. So this is the way they think. So I feel the lack of imaginations, people come to us, a lot of investors come to us, they talk about metaverse, they are very much optimistic about metaverse, but they still struggle ki this how much revenue it will create, okay, and where it has done in the US. They look for some US market for some comparison and all. So I think that part, I feel hopefully many big guy will come and they will bet on the imaginations more than the US track record. We are going to be pioneer. So I think on the strength of our developers, we can be pioneer. I can feel personally. As far as your question is concerned regarding the developer hiring and all, developer hiring is painful right now because there are very few developers in AR, VR, 3D space. And still in India, people are learning Java or some old technology to be hired in Infosys and Wipro. Even the college guys and the parent they teach ki at least join the Infosys or Wipro for typical Java jobs and all jobs. So still the crowd has not learned a lot in the college days, I can say. But yeah, now trend is positive. I can see from last year to this year, I can see crowd is multiplying 10 times now. People are now coming in big number. They are coming forward to learn the AR, VR, app development. They're coming to learn the 3D technology a lot. I think now I can see from the ground that developers are learning. They are coming. They are becoming big day by day. Still, I can say there is a big change requirement. College should try to promote AR VR a lot. I would like to announce on your platform that every college university that focus on technology and all, they must focus on the AR VR as well. They must teach AR VR at least in semester 6 or 7, so that their student can be more aware of AR VR and 3D stuff, and we can create a bigger ecosystem in the metaverse space.
Right. I think bang on. I think because the world is changing, it's changing so fast that everything that was old will not be relevant in the new world.
Yes,
And the new world uh, uh, needs a new outlook. The education system, especially, which has been conveniently stuck in the old, needs to look at the opportunity, because there are so much demand. Because we are transitioning from the Web 2.0 to a Web 3.0 world, a metaverse where from flat interface, 2D interface, we'll be moving into a 3D world. The entire content flow will be, it will be in 3D. And in that world, if you're a 3D designer, 3D developer, you will have a great future. So yes, I mean, I really hope that more and more colleges, education institutes look at where the future is going, and create skilled future, rather than the ones with just degrees. Now, talking about the revenue generating, because yes, that's been a grouse for the XR startups, the metaverse startups here in India, and the investors have obviously, I mean, kind of point out towards that I mean, these metaverse startups are not revenue generating at this point in time. Yes, I mean, this metaverse is the future, but how do we convince them that it's the future? And B, when do you think pragmatically that metaverse startups will start making money? And if they're making money, how, where, and what are the lower hanging fruits according to you?
nice, very nice, very good, nice question. Yeah, I think we are at the cusp. I can feel that we are at the cusp. We are waiting for the moment when some company will populate people with devices. They can really pump 1 billion, 1 lakh, 10 lakh devices in the system, and people can start using day and night. Like, I'm waiting for the moment when they can be a more affordable and more smart devices, and I think it's very soon. In China, I can see at very low cost and high quality devices have come up in China. So some company have to partner and bring in India as well, or maybe they can also create similar stuff in India as well. So we are, yes, revenue wise, I think we are at the cusp, I can say. Compared to last year, this year there's huge tractions. Every company now comes to us and inquire about metaverse and how to leverage metaverse, how to become metaverse friendly and all. So now company has come to the stage of the experimentation and the play mode right now. They want to play around, they want to play with the ideas, they want to have some small POC. Now almost every company, every major company are coming into the POC mode of metaverse. That phase has come up. In POC mode, people pay, people don't pay based on many parameters and all. So now once this POC stage is crossed, I feel all those companies will pump in money here, because they may have tested the POC, the power, the POC of the metaverse. They may have tested the power of metaverse and all. They'll start pumping money in all the contracts and the kind of new kind of avenues. So I feel personally, the mostly all the big company are coming right now living in a POC stage. They are working on POC of metaverse in some way or other, and eventually they will come to the stage where they will implement and deploy it at mass. And that time we can see a blast of revenue. Suddenly there would be a huge revenue. So this is the time for the angel investment. If they don't invest right now, they will not get very high gain. So after maybe you can say 1 year, 1.5 year, I can say there can be a huge revenue. Maybe by 24 March, I can expect there can be a big revenue and coming from all industry, especially the e-commerce, the fashion e-commerce, especially from the the manufacturing point of view as well. They want to recreate the digital tune of the places. They want to recreate the showrooms, they want to recreate those kind of experiences. So I feel still I can say in last 1 year, not much revenue in any company of metaverse type. Totally agree. because now we are in the POC stage. Many companies don't pay for POC also, but after 1 year, once POC stage is crossed for many companies, they will start pumping in money. They'll start deploying also the metaverse apps, metaverse solutions, and then revenue will increase a lot.
Right. Yeah. I think, we're getting into the new world, and those forward thinking, those visionary enterprises are understanding that we are going towards that future, the metaverse future, where the metaverse itself is so potential. It can completely upend the entire game. Instead of us going to a mall, the mall comes to us. Instead of us going to the school or the education institute, the education institute comes to us. Instead of us going and learning something, or training something, the training, the submarine itself comes to us. For example, there was this company, which was doing this submarine training, and they used to spend millions of dollars, because you used to actually park your physical submarine, take the entire workforce to do the training, and millions of dollars, which were being wasted. Today, with the metaverse, you build this 3D world. You have these recruiters, trainers, who can train in those virtual worlds, and all the data has been collected. What the pros and cons, you understand, and so much money is being saved. So that's the potential of the metaverse. But I mean, for those enterprise yet who don't really know about those use cases, would you like to talk about the enterprise use cases of metaverse? Maybe two or three examples would be nice.
Yeah, as you mentioned very clearly about submarine and also all those submarine scenario or the windmill scenario and the solar plant scenario and all, there is so much risk and the cost involved, in training, in maintaining O&M and also. I think AR/VR can play a big role because they can simulate everything. You can have submarine and you can really learn how to fix your engine, how to fix something and all. Same with the windmills as well. So the cost of training is very high. The amount of time it takes is very high, and the risk is very high of electric shock or whatever shock, fire shock or whatever. So there is so much thing involved in real life to train a workforce that can be optimized or minimized a lot in this VR mode and metaverse mode. You can have a simulation of all those submarine and the windmills in the metaverse, and you can feel that you are holding a engine, you're placing here. You can learn how to do step by step without the fear of the electric shock or any kind of fire thing and all. So you can create the new scenario of the fire, new scenario of something, and that can also you help you how to handle the emergency. So that is a big benefit in terms of money and the time for any company that handles the machines, submarines, solar plants, windmills, inverters, even the batteries and all. That is one big scenario. Second thing that as you mentioned, uh, I going to the market should come to me, sort of. That like you going to the Nike showroom, now reverse. Nike showroom coming to you. So once you wear device and you open the Nike app, you feel that you are in the Nike showroom and walk around and see everything and then buy and come back. So in your at your home, you take some free space and just have one app and enjoy everything. So anytime you can just go to the showroom at your home and navigate, buy and come back. Go to the museum and come back. So e-commerce company, museum entities, art galleries, all kind of showrooms. They can be event company. You can have big event with a larger audience as well. All those company can see a lot of advantage in the AR/VR. I can say the millennials want to hang out in this AR/VR mode. So number two, the enterprise like the training for any kind of solar, wind, electric, this, that, inverter, smart building, smart city. So those things can be also done in the metaverse mode. So these two are the larger chunk of the metaverse use cases that can create the business value.
Right. So now with Metaverse, there's Web 3.0, right? So the Web 3.0 is the future of the internet. How do you think that's gonna play a role in shaping the metaverse forward? And not just the Web 3.0, or the entire the blockchain, the cryptocurrency, the non-fungible tokens.
Okay, nice. I think things are linked here right now. So metaverse will evolve. We need to, so for example, we have a town, we have a towers, we have showrooms and all. So we need to have a more safe transactions, transparent transactions. So blockchain can help in all those kind of smart contract and writing a fair contract where we can have a transactions based on the leasing out spaces or buying, selling and all. So even the crypto can play the role where we can really get the NFTs done and buy and sell an NFT as well. So eventually around metaverse, there can be a more technology which can play the big role. Example like blockchain, I told you as we need to really make it traceable. It should be more transparent system. We can make it with the help of blockchain. Crypto can help us creating the digital content and managing it and buy and sell the digital content like NFTs. The whole ecosystem will grow eventually, but I feel personally the metaverse and the blockchain will grow very fast, and eventually other things will come into place, other will fall into the place, like crypto and NFTs and all the things will come into fall into the place.
Right. So the India ecosystem, I mean, we as a nation, I think we catapulting into the future. There's some great things are happening. I think in 2021 we had some 44 unicorns. So great things happening. Now, the ecosystem here in India still for the XR Web 3.0 is still slow. I, in my personal capacity, have been, been driving the ecosystem through the podcast and the Immersion VR Fest, which I organized in 2019. Now I'm doing the second edition in March 24th, 25th. What do you think that can be done where everybody comes together and plays a role to drive the ecosystem to make it more sustainable where everybody gets benefited? Because right now, from the conversations that I've been having with the stakeholders, everybody is doing their siloed stuff. Right now, I think we are in a point of time, if we all come together, the entire ecosystem can flourish. This is my small humble opinion. What according to you needs to be done to create a ecosystem for India which becomes completely sustainable and flourishing for everyone?
Yeah, very nice thought. Very nice thought. I think you have been doing it. I can really claim that you have been doing it very nicely with the help of podcasts and other things as well. You have democratize the content and awareness. I think yes, very true. We need to be we need to focus on collaboration a lot. We need to really work together without thinking that this can be competitor and all. We need to really work together. If we grow together, it becomes quite big. 1 plus 1 becomes 11 in this game, not just two. I think there is a big scope. We can organize more events, more, I can say, opportunities where people can interact more and more. Right now, company are working in silo. You're right. Blockchain company are working in silos. They don't interact with the company of metaverse type. Metaverse company also focus on particular one thing, like suppose we are training for the solar plant. So nowadays, you are right. Basically, many company are working in silo mode. In India, I have one issue. In India, collaborative learning is missing in our school system. I think people learn just to get maximum marks and become the first or second. So it's like a rivalry is more, ingrained, more put in our mind than the collaborations and innovations. We are just trained differently. Personally, I'm against the ethics of Indian educations where we are promoted to get the maximum marks and become first or second. So try to collaborate and innovate, which can upgrade our society. We can create a better system for society as such. We can take the bigger challenge, and we should create a new stuff all the time. So that part is missing. So that's why I think in India, most people focus on things in silo mode and focus there and just be there. And that harms that key in India as a whole won't grow fast in that way, because India as a whole needs collaborations. All these metaverse company, blockchain company, crypto company should work together, should go together, think how we can create something new which can add value to everyone. That part is missing. We can organize more events, more hackathons, more workshops, more meetings, casual meetings, where those guys can come together without sake of the commercial point. They can discuss about how things can be more exciting, more transparent, more charming for the world. So I think you are doing a good job of having the event in coming time. I would like to give our own power to you also. We want to have more powers for you, so that we can have more events, more workshops, more awareness, and that can really change the game. In Dubai, I can see in Dubai, people are more collaborative, at least in the area of blockchain and crypto. They work together many times, they discuss, they try to create something new in the market. In the same manner, I think now is a good time for Indian company to start collaborating on many technologies and come up with the new ideas and thinking more of the global opportunity than just as local opportunity in small part of India. So we need to change the thought process. It can happen once we have discussions, once we have workshops, once we have a thought exchange.
Right, I think so very profound. The entire education system needs to be relooked, and that does not come easy. How do we create an education system where we break away from exams and personal glorification to a collaborative
Yes.
learning system? Because that, I think it's so very profound. You rightfully pointed out. I think we're getting into a world, or at least we say that the metaverse or the web3 ecosystem, the ethos behind it, it's supposed to be decentralized, it's supposed to be open, it's supposed to be interoperable. And those things, I think it's nice to talk about it in these conferences, and have these posts, but the actual doing bit, I don't think there's anybody who's doing it. Everybody talks about interoperability. I hope that we truly come to a point where we create a platform where all the startups come together. There is an open job board where there's jobs, and then there are startups with a specific qualification, or what the services that they provide. They can go and look for those jobs, and collaborate with others and build a better products or services or solution, rather than just maybe one startup doing a specific thing. So the opportunity is there, but I think once we all collaborate, we'll be able to truly build the future that we all talk about: the decentralized, the open, the interoperability. Because I mean, so far we are pretty much way far away from anything which is decentralized, because everything is still top down, hierarchical. Now the metaverse, we spoke about the good things, but I think it's always nice to inform the enterprise as well as the consumers that, like a web 2.0, which has got various problems. The web 2.0 itself, I think, is the biggest boon for mankind. If not for web 2.0, for those free social media, because they don't even charge us. Facebook, we'd like to bring them down, that they take a data. But yes, maybe if they had a right data approach, Facebook could have been the best company in the world. And web 2.0 now, it's got, obviously it's got pros, but it's also got its cons, because there's this data manipulation, there's election rigging, and so on and so forth. Now with web 3.0, with metaverse, everything, the data, all of possible data is going to be collected, harvested, manipulated. What would be your advice to those consumers as well as enterprise? How do they secure themselves in this new digital world?
If I understand your question nicely, you say ki, okay, first of the decentralization also. You are right, basically, we are not able to do it much. Even the Web3 is supposed to be more decentralized and all, but we are still far away. We are still struggling in small way and all, and Web3's focus has been now bit different. Eventually, it has to become like crypto is fighting against central government system, and it wants to become more decentralized over time. Even the metaverse wants to create a world without government. Like it can be a world where people from all many part of the world can join and live together, work together. So even metaverse is creating a parallel universe, irrespective of the government and whatever. Maybe eventually you can expect couple of metaverses that will be more than a country. That will you can spend enough time there and really have economy also. You can really transact, work there, come party and go back. So when the metaverse can be become an economy parallel to the national economy as well eventually. Negative metaverse that key eventually, I say this is not going to replace the real world. Obviously my meeting friend is in real life is a fun, great fun. Okay. But meeting someone on WhatsApp is not that fun. Okay. But meeting someone in metaverse is in between of meeting on WhatsApp and meeting in real life. So this metaverse is in the center, or in the near the center between this meeting in the real life and the meeting in the WhatsApp. So the risk is that people can be more obsessed with the gaming, because everywhere there can be a gamifications in metaverse. People used to, example, in the classroom, people teach in a boring way, still student learn to some extent. But in metaverse, you cannot engage anyone without gamifications or some kind of fun. So humans can be spoiled a little bit more, I feel personally. They always want some kind of gamification here and there, otherwise they won't do anything. So we have high chance of spoiling people. That is one loss. Second loss, people can spend more time on devices, and rather than meeting, they would like to spend time mostly on the metaverse meetings as well. Suppose I meet 20 guy in a week, okay, in person. Now I will try to reduce 20 to maybe 5, very urgent, very special. Otherwise, I would manage the meeting in metaverse. It's close to the real meeting, but so eventually there can be a reduction in the real meeting as well. It won't be zero, but it will be a reduction a little bit. We can spoil humans a little bit also. If they always want some kind of gamifications. Third thing, it will really consume 5G a lot. So we need to have a lot of 5G towers coming soon. We can go to the next level where we can have a huge radiation 5G everywhere and all. People will be surrounded with the 5G all the time, because they want real time interaction, real time events, real time meeting friends and all. Six, right? Infra cost is very high. We need to really create the 5G infra and the device infra. So maybe that is six point, which is loss and profit together. I can say that city load is less now. So no one would like to stay in city now. They want to stay in a small town or the hill area or the beach and all. They would like to spend time on those areas and avoid city eventually. So city, the madness will reduce a little bit also. What about
Right.
profits? Profits, we are not profits also, like maybe we reduce travel a lot, unnecessary travel for office every day. So it will reduce the carbon footprints. It will we not don't need to have a lot of buildings all the time for showroom and offices. Metaverse office would be enough. So we will reduce the carbon footprint which is used in the creation of the buildings and the roads and the all these things. So I can see there are a lot of benefit in terms of the carbon emission, carbon footprint. There is a benefit. There would be less pollutions everywhere eventually. So profit and loss whole package is beautiful.
Right. Yeah, I think, like every new technology, I mean, there are always pros and cons. It really, a technology itself is never good or bad. It's the people, how we choose to take it in a direction, and I think, for the first time in human history, I think we are completely looking at redesigning our system. You mentioned, we are looking at cryptocurrencies, which is finance or money without the banking industry. B, we are looking at creating worlds, the metaverse worlds, without a government, a decentralized world. C, we looking at automation, which is decentralized autonomous organization, companies which will be run without people but which will be run by code. So these are at very initial stages where the thought itself is so profound. Is it perfect? I don't think so. It's got its own flaws, but I guess neither was a mobile, 30 years back. It only could, help us do, make calls, connect with each other. But look at what it is doing right now. So I think what we need to do is give these technology time. Rather than over expecting so much of this, we should understand that these are profound technologies which, if given time and investment and commitment, it can create a better future. Your last note, your ending note, any advice to students, and what comes next for you, your personal roadmap, and also WoWExp.
Awesome. First of very nice thought, very nice thought, very nice thought you put already. So, yeah, I think eventually we'll go in the directions where humans will live like a human. Okay, like 10,000 years back when we used to be Adivasi and tribal and all, we used to focus on food, sex, connections, nice kind of good bonding, good shelter and all. Humans want to live in a very cool environment. They want to feel connected. That is the hidden need. Want to feel connected. This metaverse is going to do that thing. They will create more connections. You feel connected when you be around your friends, play anytime, play cards with your friend anytime. You feel more connected. I can feel humans are digging their soul and just going in a human mode. I see reverse where people say I'm becoming ultra tech. My family teach me. They say this guy is ultra tech. This guy is lost his life. I say I'm digging my inner soul. I want to feel more connected to my friends, my this and all. So it's like metaverse is giving an opportunity of digging your soul and going on human mode. So less digital, like more human type look like I feel personally. Okay, for as advice for students and all, I can suggest everyone to become more tech friendly, new tech friendly. Don't jump into the old style of, you know, just like a crowd hiring, phrase hiring of Java guy. Come out of that mindset. Tell your parents that your parents think in a very old way. This not era of repeating code and boring code, Java era and all. Let's come out of that mode. Let's come out of the safe mode कि मेरे को कम से कम महीने का 20,000 पगार मिल जाएगा. I will live my life for next 10 years. Ask your parents to rethink, at least not control your life. Just think phrase what will happen in the coming time in the world and be part of that world. There would be a big opportunity. You will make money very high or normal, but you won't be like a jobless. You won't be like a without money. Believe me, you will either gain a lot or normal. And the way don't think in the old way where you say at least इतना मिलेगा मेरे को 10 रुपया चल जाएगा. Stop that thinking. Be the part of the new world. Change the world. Your energy is crucial for changing the world faster. You can bring the change faster. Believe me, it will help you guys also. Eventually you can have a good life. You can live in any part of the world freely and work. You can have much better family life, friend life. No need to go to office of cement building office every day, sit in a cartoon the bus and spend 10 hours and all. Think about that future of the living in a very nice areas. It will wish. enjoy working from anywhere and be part of the new world. WoWExp is open to all those fresh thinking guy. Come join us as a AR/VR developer, 3D artist, digital marketing guy, sales guy, and just change the world.
Navin, thank you for taking time and being part of the podcast. Yes, we need uh, a new outlook. We need to relook at things. The world is changing while most of us are still stuck into the past. To to be part of this new world, this metaverse, Web 3.0, we all have an opportunity. But yes, we've got to let go of our old thinking and look at the how we can be part of this new by uh, completely reimagining and learning, being a lifelong learner. So there is so much opportunity. Yes, it's an exciting world, and I think everyone can play a role in shaping that future. So I'm really excited, and I'm trying to kind of nudge those direction, and I would love to somehow be a part of whatever you're doing, and together do this and push the ecosystem forward. So Navin, wish you and your team the very best. And to my listeners, if you like what you see in here, then please press the subscribe button, and until next time, see you guys. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. You're doing a great job. Please keep doing so. More power to you.